The Last Clue is a production of Smith Media Team, LLC. If you have any information about this case, please email us at info@smithmediateamllc.com. Listener discretion is advised, as some content may be upsetting to listeners.
I can tell you what the true crime is in this studio. It's my beard. I have gone way too long with this thing. It's getting it's actually starting to curl.
Would you like me to get the scissors?
I don't think our listeners would care for a visual bit on an audio podcast. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on if you cut me or not. It could be
another episode, whether I did it on purpose or not.
That's fair. We do have a shovel.
I know how to use it too.
Yeah. I think what I'm going for now is I think I'm going to pick up another gig later on in the year.
He is literally sitting here running his fingers through his beard.
It's curly. Well, it's wavy. It's not curly. Great visuals, by the way, on an audio podcast. I think I'm going to pick up another gig later on in the year where I dress up as Santa Claus and get hired to go to people's houses for their...
Don't go to people's houses. No.
Why?
You know what kind of podcast we're doing right now, right?
Nobody shoots or stabs Santa Claus.
Have you seen Silent Night, Deadly Night?
That's fair.
There's a whole lot going on in there. And yeah, no, thank you. I don't have bail money.
I mean, it depends on how much money I could make as Santa Claus.
There's so many questions there. I mean, older man, kind of unrecognizable face if that beard were to be shaved, asking children to sit on his lap. I have all the questions.
That's fair, because now my beard is starting to look like someone who drives a white panel van that has no windows and possibly has free candy spray painted on the side.
Is it sugar-free?
Maybe. The free candy thing wouldn't entice me. What would entice me is if it said free tacos, and then they have me.
Texas, where you can have tacos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they're all different and delicious.
You know, I think country music artist Rich O'Toole, who I've met a couple of times, I think he eats a breakfast taco every day of the week. I may be wrong. Rich, if you're out there, call the hotline. We don't have a hotline. But I think he has a breakfast taco just about every day.
Migas.
Now, hold on.
Migas tacos.
If the van had migas, I would drive to the location that I was going to be buried at.
I'm going with you. Ugh.
Tonight, we examined two cases that shook communities, changed laws, and still raise some painful questions. Two children, two disappearances, two stories that demand we keep asking what happened and why.
In the first half of this episode, we revisit the abduction and murder of Amber Hagerman, a 9-year-old girl. English is hard. A 9-year-old girl whose tragic death led to the creation of the Amber Alert system, which is now used across the world to locate missing children. In the second half, we turn to a case that recently gripped Oklahoma, the disappearance of Ryan Davis, known as RJ, also Riker Cole, a 12-year-old boy last known to be in the custody of the very people charged with neglecting and abusing him. His case sparked a massive search, multiple arrests, and urgent questions about how abuse can remain hidden in plain sight.
And I don't think that case is over by a long shot. And one of the reasons that we both believe this will be in our subscriber-only content, exclusive. It's just $5 a month. You get access to our present and prior categories, and you can only listen to those episodes if you subscribe. The only place to subscribe is on Buzzsprout. The link will be provided in the description, and it is also on our Facebook page, The Last Clue.
We get a little bit more unhinged there, so it's a must listen, in my opinion.
We get more unhinged on exclusive.
Yes.
Because we can't really get unhinged on Facebook because Mark Zuckerberg is watching.
Probably an exclusive is where I would call him what I typically do. Anyway, tonight we have 2 cases, 1 legacy, and 1 urgent reminder. When children vanish, the truth must be pursued no matter how long it takes. But before we get started, we want to welcome our new listeners and subscribers from Altus, Oklahoma.
Oh, Altus Air Force Base.
Altus Air Force Base.
We need all of our fly boys in Altus and fly girls. Am I required to sing Pretty Fly for a White Guy when I say fly boys and fly
Please
girls?
don't.
Not, that's fair. We need all of Altus Air Force Base to come on board.
Come on, airmen.
Listen to us while you're on your morning runs or when you're trying to go to sleep at night. There's nothing better to go to sleep to than true crime.
I agree. Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Mooresville, North Carolina, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Home of the St. Paul Saints.
How original.
I mean, they didn't really put a whole lot of effort into the name, but one of the geniuses of baseball was behind the St. Paul Saints for many, many years, came up with some wild promotions. If you feel so inclined, if you're a sports fan that also listens to true crime, I would take a look at the St. Paul Saints and look at some of the things they've done. They were, I don't know if they still are, but they were innovators in sports promotions, not just baseball, sports overall.
We also want to welcome Perth, Australia, and a special shout out to Yvonne in Canada, who was very active and interested and following RJ's case and kept asking questions, checking in, asking for updates because she was not able to get the articles that we linked in Canada. So thank you, Yvonne. It just goes to show how widespread this case was for RJ.
Does KWTV require a passport and proper documentation to watch their videos?
I don't think so. I have a lot of things going through my mind right now with KWTV based on some of the things that happened in this case. So I'm going to zip it.
Yeah,
Right now, I'm going to zip it.
I can tell you that our subscriber-only content is going to be fiery. But wherever you're listening from, thank you for being a part of the Last Clue community. And you can follow The Last Clue wherever you get your podcast, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and many more. And again, for our exclusive content, you can only subscribe on Buzzsprout. And it's just $5 a month that will give you access to our past and present episodes that are only available to subscribers. We will have the link in this podcast description, and we also have it in our Facebook page, The Last Clue.
If you would like to be a supporter of the show, you can also go to Buzzsprout and do one-time donations to The Last Clue. We also have Cash App at #, or $, The Last Clue. And always keep searching for The Last Clue.
Amber Renee Hagerman was born on November 25th, 1986 in Arlington, Texas. Her family described her as energetic, compassionate, and adventurous. At the time of her disappearance, Amber was 9 years old and was living with her grandparents in a working class neighborhood. She liked riding her bike, spending time with her family, and especially being outdoors with her friends. Amber was known for her independence and had been riding her bike in familiar areas near the home on the day she was taken. Her case would later become one of the most influential child abduction cases in American history. changing how missing children are located nationwide.
On January 13th, 1996, so we're coming up on the 30th anniversary, Amber was riding her pink bicycle with a friend in an abandoned grocery store parking lot near her home. Her friend witnessed a man pull up in a black pickup truck, grab Amber, and force her into the vehicle. The witness immediately told Amber's family what he had seen, and law enforcement was notified quickly.
And I find that part interesting for 1996. We had, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? But I find it interesting that the witness was cognizant enough as a child to immediately go to the family and say, Amber was taken. This is what the vehicle looked like. Probably even told the direction and a few other details.
Just spilled all of the details he knew. However, critical details about the suspect and the vehicle were not broadcast to the public in time to generate immediate leads, even though he had done the right thing. Authorities believe the abduction occurred in broad daylight, underscoring how quickly and brazenly the crime unfolded.
4 days later, on January 17th, 1996, a man was out on a walk with his dog and discovered Amber's body in a creek roughly 4 miles from where she had been abducted. She had been sexually assaulted and murdered. The cause of death was ruled homicide. This discovery devastated that community and intensified the urgency surrounding child abduction response. I mean, even despite eyewitness testimony and physical evidence, the perpetrator was never definitively identified.
So sad.
Amber's murder remains officially unsolved.
The police did receive thousands of tips following Amber's disappearance and death, but none led to an arrest. Multiple persons of interest were investigated over the years, including individuals with violent or sexual crime histories. In 2008, a convicted sex offender was briefly examined as a possible suspect, but no charges were filed due to insufficient evidence. Authorities have stated that DNA evidence exists in the case, though no confirmed match has been made public.
I'm going to say this, when any authority says that DNA evidence exists in a case, if you have not reached out to Othram, and maybe Othram has looked into this case before, maybe they haven't, but if you are in law enforcement and you have any type of case that has DNA evidence, you have to reach out to Othram. It's a must. If you haven't, you are not only doing yourself a disservice, you're doing the city, the county, the state, and honestly the nation a disservice.
The family.
By not, and definitely the family. But you are doing everyone a disservice by not reaching out to Othram. And we are not sponsored by Othram. We are believers
Absolutely.
in Othram. We've seen what they've done. The only thing that we haven't been able to do yet is tour the facility. And I would be fascinated by that.
And I think it's time for them to get involved because, you know what? The Arlington Police Department continues to receive tips related to Amber's murder, even decades later.
Amber's murder directly led to the creation of the Amber Alert system. It was named in her memory. In 1996, a Dallas-Fort Worth radio station asked listeners how communities could respond faster to child abductions. The result was a coordinated emergency broadcast system designed to alert the public when a child is believed to be abducted and in immediate danger. Now, this system was adopted statewide in Texas in 2000, and it later expanded across the United States. Today, Amber Alerts are seem to be daily notifications.
Sadly.
And they have been credited with the safe recovery of hundreds of children nationwide. And they're also used internationally.
I did not realize that. Amber Hagerman's case transformed how law enforcement, media, and the public respond to child abductions. Her family continues to advocate for child safety and awareness. While Amber's own case remains unsolved, her legacy has saved countless lives. Her story stands as both a warning and a call to action. Speed, communication, and public awareness can make the difference between life and death.
And now we go back to a case that started out as a local case and then gripped an entire state and is now receiving some nationwide attention, but very rarely in this line of work do we have a happy ending. I know there are some out there, but they
not statistically.
They are few. No, they are few and far between. This is the case of Brian R.J. Davis, a 12-year-old boy from rural Oklahoma, who on January 11th was found safe and alive after a days-long search that captured a lot of attention.
Yeah, he was gone for a week. And then some, give or take, a long time.
According to KWTV News 9 and the OSBI, RJ was located in Chickasha following an intensive multi-agency search. Authorities confirmed he was alive and taken for medical evaluation after being found. Family members described RJ as a quiet, kind, and resilient despite a deeply troubled home environment. Relatives said he had been living in near isolation with little contact outside of his house.
This poor kid. I can't wait for exclusive because I've got a lot to say.
We have a lot more information for exclusive.
Exclusive?
His disappearance and the circumstances surrounding it sparked a massive search, multiple arrests, and urgent questions about child welfare oversight. And if you are in Oklahoma, I don't think it's necessarily just an Oklahoma thing, but if you are in Oklahoma or follow news in Oklahoma, you know that there are a couple of agencies that have been under fire for not only child welfare, but child abuse, and their handling or mishandling of the situation.
So RJ was reported missing in early January on or about the 2nd after relatives raised concerns that they had not seen or heard from him for an extended period of time.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine why. We're headed that direction.
We are headed that direction. Law enforcement confirmed that RJ had last been seen in the custody of his mother and stepfather, and I am using those terms loosely.
Very loosely.
Family members told investigators that RJ had been removed from school and kept largely confined inside the home.
Kind of found an interesting phone call through research that was not the mother or the stepfather, but it was somebody else in the family that called his school. And I'm sure we will get more into that in our subscriber-only content.
We do have to keep some things in exclusive.
Exclusive.
as this is an ongoing investigation. But authorities stated that RJ had not been seen publicly for months before the missing report was filed, raising immediate red flags. And now we do understand RJ had run away before, but we thinks we know why.
I can. We will
We're
tell
getting
you
there.
why.
Yeah, from the outset, investigators treated the case as suspicious.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
So, some relatives came forward alleging that RJ had endured long-term physical abuse and extreme isolation inside the home. Feeling the heat coming off of you right now, and you're not even sitting really close to me.
My eyeballs are probably burning a hole in the back of your head because this just makes me livid.
According to KWTV News 9, RJ's great aunt, Tina Molina.
Oh, Tina.
Tina Molina. I kind of just like saying it, honestly.
I understand that. And, at first it was just kind of fun to say. Now
it's a source of irritation. Tina Molina told KWTV News 9 that the family had feared for his safety long before his disappearance. Molina stated that RJ appeared malnourished, withdrawn, and cut off from the outside world.
I do believe the words shackled were also in there.
She also told News 9 that RJ was, quote, not allowed to leave the house, end quote, and that family members repeatedly feared something terrible would happen if help did not come. I think that's one of the definitions of family. If you feel like someone in your family is in immediate or especially imminent danger,
Especially a child.
I feel like that would be more than just cause to help this boy. Be that as it may.
Be that as it may, and somebody had made a comment that reporting child abuse is not illegal in the state of Oklahoma. And I responded that it is a crime to not report known child abuse. I could pull up the statute, but we've got a lot more to cover here, and I might pull that up and go over that in exclusive.
Exclusive. Molina also said RJ, quote, wasn't living like a normal kid, end quote, describing conditions that left relatives desperate for intervention.
Hey, Tina Molina, I got a question for you. So, whose safety is of utmost importance here?
From what she said on camera, her safety was more important than RJ's.
Oh, yeah, she couldn't say anything because of threats and emails and things that were coming to her. She feared for her safety, so she couldn't say anything to help RJ.
I wish that we had a internationally known phrase that would help people to do the right thing. Maybe something like, see something, say something? Do you think that's a good one?
It's pretty basic.
Okay. Public scrutiny also turned toward child welfare oversight.
Uh-huh.
A statement circulated by Page 6 Oklahoma and the focal point of accountability asked, quote, Oklahoma Human Services, DHS, were you involved in any investigations, reports, or assessments involving 12-year-old R.J. Davis before he went missing? If so, the public demands answers. DHS history in this case needs reviewed and audited. End quote.
Oh, DHS.
To say that we are going to have much more about this Channel 9 interview in our subscriber-only content exclusive, which is just $5 per month and unlocks all of our exclusive content, past and present.
And future.
Definitely future. The link will be provided in our podcast description.
Again, there are some things that we have to save that we can't say due to the ongoing investigation. So please believe and know there are so many things that want to be said right now, but we can't.
And I want to say this for anybody that's out there that says this is a money grab. Let me just put that baby to bed right now. We charge $5 a month for our premium content. By subscribing to our premium content, you are agreeing that what you hear is as a subscriber. So if you choose to take that information to news outlets, to the authorities, what have you, that's fine, but it's a contract. You are paying for that content. What you choose to do with it is fine. The only thing you can't do is steal it. So what we are able to say in exclusive is done for a reason, and it's not money. If you think that a subscriber for $5 a month is going to turn us into Mr. Monopoly,
I love Monopoly Go, not the board game, though.
You are sorely mistaken. But again, just want to put that out there that there is a reason why we put certain things in exclusive and not on our regular podcast, because they are things that potentially are more confidential, private,
or maybe even a little bit more upsetting to listeners.
Yeah, definitely that.
So, and sometimes it's things that are happening in an ongoing investigation, but of course we don't jeopardize anyone. We never would do that, ever, especially in the case of a child.
If you reach out to us with information on a case we are covering or on a case that we plan to cover in the future, we keep all of those sources anonymous.
100%.
Our parent company is Smith Media Team, LLC, and we have a journalistic duty and a moral duty to follow the policies and procedures of that company. So we know exactly where the line is, and we stepped right to it in our subscriber-only content exclusive.
And you may hear some information from an anonymous source about R.J. Davis's case in exclusive.
You will definitely hear cuss words.
Now, in January, not too long ago, R.J.'s mother and stepfather were arrested in connection with his disappearance. They faced charges related to child abuse, neglect, and obstruction of justice, and there was initially a charge of crimes against nature. Authorities allege the pair provided false or misleading information about RJ's whereabouts.
I had to take a deep breath right there.
The things I saw on Stepdaddy's Facebook. Let's just leave it at that.
That will be a part of exclusive.
Investigators stated that evidence recovered during searches suggested RJ had been subjected to prolonged mistreatment prior to being found. While RJ was ultimately located alive, thank you, Jesus, or whoever you believe in, prosecutors indicated that the abuse and neglect investigation remains ongoing.
Yeah, it should.
As it should. This child is traumatized. According to KFOR News, a community vigil was held in Chickasha as the search unfolded, with residents gathering to pray for RJ's safe return and demand accountability. During that time, RJ's biological father also spoke publicly, expressing anguish over not knowing where his son was and calling for justice and transparency.
And we have much more on that in it.
Oh, Robbie, I love how you wanted some transparency because I've got some questions for you too, sir.
I would not plan on a GoFundMe anytime soon,
No.
Robbie.
No. Now, so I don't know if you heard this. I know you have. It's just fun to say. That Biodad Robbie had not seen or had contact with RJ for a number of years.
Loving father.
Now we understand there are three sides to every story.
And I can almost assure you that we will be able to unveil exactly why Robbie did not have any contact with this child in many years.
And it's not what you are thinking that it is that you read on social media. Now, if you do a little bit of digging, you might find out the truth. But we're going to save you that.
We did a lot of digging.
You see that shovel over there? I told you I know how to use it.
Yeah. Shovel needs to be cleaned.
Mm-hmm. Again, we will have more interesting information about this in our subscriber-only content exclusive.
Exclusive.
Y'all, if you're going to subscribe, I want you to listen to it, and I also want you to interact because anonymous sources and a lot of digging, guys.
And I think you undersold that by saying interesting information. We could have used a much more dynamic word, and you'll find out. If you subscribe, it's just $5 a month.
Children, cover your ears. Mom and dads, I'm giving you about 10 seconds to cover your children's ears because I am going to cuss. It's going to be mild for me, but I'm just giving you fair warning. This is a bunch of bullshit. Robbie, it's a bunch of bullshit.
And we know.
So the search for RJ involved hundreds of people, including law enforcement, volunteers, and multiple agencies working across jurisdictions.
These agencies involved in the search included the Chickasha Police Department, the Grady County Sheriff's Office, the Caddo County Sheriff's Office, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, the OSBI, the FBI, and the District 6 Task Force. But the most interesting one is coming next.
I'm so excited for this one.
Authorities conducted extensive ground searches, aerial sweeps, and canine tracking operations across rural areas, wooded terrain, and surrounding properties. The nonprofit volunteer organization United Cajun Navy.
Yes! United Cajun Navy to the rescue!
Ultimately coordinated the final search operation after days of coordinated efforts. That operation led to RJ being located alive in Chickasha on January 11th. Now, I do want to say one thing. I absolutely appreciate what the United Cajun Navy did in this case.
Yes.
I can't express enough that, again, we get very little good news in the true crime realm. So for this to happen, we would like to sincerely thank the United Cajun Navy. Now, I do want to say one thing. Okay. When they decided to get involved, they posted a video on Facebook. And within the first 5 seconds, I believe the gentleman on the video said that they were headed to Chickasaw County instead of Chickasha, Oklahoma. And I did, being a native Oklahoman, I did have a little bit of an issue with that. But as I listened to the content more, you could hear the passion.
Yes.
You could feel that they really wanted to jump in and help, but I almost got caught up in the first 5 seconds with Chickasaw County.
Understood. Law enforcement confirmed that RJ was taken for medical evaluation following his discovery.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, but you know what? I also have to say the community, the city of Chickasha, and how everybody came together in the search and rescue of RJ was, I'm going to get a little choked up. It was just so heartwarming to see everyone come together for this child. It's sad that it had to be under these circumstances because see something, say something.
Unless you're Tina Molina.
Unless you're Tina Molina. Oh God, don't get me started on some of the family.
We're about to record
I know.
exclusive, so
but
can tell you.
Chickasha, Oklahoma, we see you. We hear you. We appreciate you, and cover your ears. God damn it, we appreciate you.
I do want to say one thing. I saw a disturbing trend during the search for RJ, and this is just a disturbing trend over social media in general. Everybody wants to break news. Everybody. But if you're going to break news, make sure that you have factual information to back it up. I can't tell you the number of times during this search that we saw some goofball, some redneck, probably on his sixth beer at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
No slam to rednecks because we might be one.
I am one, but we saw several people, and I say several very loosely because it was much, much more, getting on social media and commenting. They found him. They found RJ.
They found his body.
They found him dead. They found him alive. Don't do that.
He's not in Chickasha.
If you don't know beyond the shadow of a doubt, don't say that shit on social media. Just don't. And I know this is going to fall on deaf ears. Well, I kind of feel like the people that do that probably aren't smart enough to load up a podcast in the first place. But just don't do that. Don't report false information. And if you're going to report information, make sure that you have facts.
Back it up.
Back it up. Especially screenshots, something from an organization that is involved in the investigation. Just have information to back it up.
Yeah, I saw a few that were like, well, I saw on another post that said that he was in Tulsa. What post? Where?
I saw on another post that Bigfoot was alive and at a craps table in Las Vegas. That doesn't make it true. Well, stop doing that shit. Please. Please. As much as Mark Zuckerberg censors Facebook, why don't you start dealing with the people that spread false information, claiming that it's true? Why don't you ban them? Take them off. Kick them out. Make them go to MySpace. I don't care.
Yeah, Tom needs friends.
Tom always needs friends.
I know he does.
RJ's disappearance and recovery sparked widespread reaction across Oklahoma and beyond. Community vigils, advocacy posts, true advocacy posts, and family statements demanded answers about how a child could go missing for months without detection. Relatives publicly thanked search teams and volunteers while continuing to call for accountability within child protection systems, DHS. The case has reignited discussions about how abuse can remain hidden in isolated environments and what safeguards fail when oversight collapses. RJ's story became a symbol of both systematic failure and the power of coordinated public action. And RJ's story is not over yet.
It is not.
Not by a long shot.
2 children, 2 different decades, 2 very different outcomes. Amber Hagerman's tragedy gave the world a tool that has saved countless lives. R.J. Davis's case reminds us that even with systems in place, children can still disappear into silence. One case changed the law. The other demands that we ask whether those laws and those protections are being used when it matters most.
The Last Clue is a production of Smith Media Team, LLC. If you have any information regarding either of these cases, please email us at info@smithmediateamllc.com. You can follow The Last Clue wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and many more. And for exclusive content, subscribe on Buzzsprout. The link will be in the description of this podcast and also on our Facebook page, The Last Clue. And it's just $5 per month. And as always, keep searching for The Last Clue.